Visit worldrolodex.com/magnetic messaging to learn more. Magnetic messaging: how to turn her on and get her out with just 3 simple texts. 7 deadly texting mistakes, and how to avoid them. Part 1. One of the most frustrating things is when you get a woman's number, and she seems to be totally into you. But then after a few texts she seems to lose interest, fizzle out, or go cold. The natural reaction is to blame the woman. She's a flake. But if you do that, you could missing a giant crink in your game that is easier to fix than you think. In fact, if you're like most guys, then you're probably just making one, or a few, of these common texting mistakes that will kill your chances with a girl. 3 texts to turn her on and get her out. The 7 deadly texting mistakes. Mistake number 1, confusing responses for attraction. Before you've had your first date with a girl, she won't feel much of a connection to you. As unfortunate as it may be, you're probably not the only guy texting her. See, a common mistake most guys make when they're texting a girl is that they mistake responses for attraction. Often when a guy is getting a response from a girl, he believes that he's getting closer to getting her on a date or to seducing her. The exact opposite is true. The more texts you send before meeting up with girl means the less of a chance you have of actually meeting up with her. That's right, even if a girl is responding to your texts, you're not getting yourself any closer to actually getting her out on a date. Instead, say more with less. Whenever you're considering what to text a girl, see if you say it simpler, with less text. Most guys send pointless texts to women like, "How's your day?" or "Enjoying the warm weather?" These texts do not bring you any closer to a woman. They just beg for a response, which doesn't mean anything. To make sure you never again waste texts on pointless chatter, ask yourself this golden question: how is this text bringing this girl and I closer to a date? If your answer is simply to get her to know her better, erase the text. It's not going to help you. Mistake number 2, not conveying fun. Here is the simple truth. When a woman gives you her number, she is not signing a social contract to go out with you. And until it seems fun for her, she's probably not going to bother meeting up with you. So when you send boring texts that don't display any personality or don't elicit any emotions in her mind, you're not worth the trouble of meeting up with. Here are some signs you're not being fun. Am I being stiff and formal? Hi. It was nice meeting you Friday. Too stiff, too formal. Am I putting pressure on her to keep the convo going? Am I battering her with question? Remember, every text you send should make you seem like the fun option. The escape from her boring day. Mistake number 3, not having a texting style. If you're texting an attractive woman, chances are you are not the only guy she is getting a text from today. Hate to break it to you, but between other guys pursuing her, ex-boyfriends, coworkers, classmates, and so on, she's got a lot of guys vying for her attention. So if you want to stand out, your texts need to display your unique style and personality. She should be able to know it's a text from you just by reading it, even if the name was blocked. What words, phrases, punctuation, or emoticons are uniquely yours? Mistake number 4, having long text conversations. Text conversations are not the same as actual conversations. Texting should be the super cool cliff notes of a normal conversations. Meaning leave out the formalities. The longer the conversation, the more chances to mess things up or run into awkward confusion. Every time you pick up the phone, jump right into the good stuff. Start with anecdote. Start with a teasing nickname. Find a way to quickly spark an emotion and get her paying full attention to you. In this new video just released, I explain how you can, and should, accomplish everything you need to accomplish with just 3 simple texts. Tomorrow I'll be back with 3 more of the common texting mistakes men make. In the meantime, check out the video and learn how you can turn a woman on, and get her out on a date with a simple sequence of texts called the key lock sequence. Article number 2, 7 Deadly Texting Mistakes Part 2. Yesterday we discussed 4 mistakes men make when texting women that totally scare off or repel a girl who was previously interested. Let's face it, texting women can be downright confusing. What to write? What did her last text mean? How long should I wait to text her again? Is she ignoring my texts? The worst part is when the girl stops responding or just seems to disappear. You never quite know why. Chances are it can be rooted down to one of these mistakes. Even though all of these mistakes are subtle, they have a powerful ability to kill attraction quickly. So let's get into it. Mistake number 5, going for the meetup without sparking emotion. Here is another hard, cold fact. If you ask a woman to hang out, without first sparking an emotion, she will almost always turn you down. Why? Because all of the positive emotions she felt when she was with you has dwindled. And the thought of getting dressed up, and going to meet a guy she barely knows, and the potential you'll turn out to be a creep or just awkward, is not worth the effort. Logically, she can easily talk herself out of it. Which is why you must engage her on an emotional level first. It is much easier to get a yes out of a woman once you've sparked a positive emotion. The two best ways to do this are with flirting or humor. Here's an important concept: she is not going to remember all your good qualities. So it's your job to remind her. Mistake number 6, becoming too predictable. Let's say that you've now succeeded in getting up a date with a girl. You may think you're home free when it comes to texting, but there's still some things you need to keep in mind to ensure you continue to see your girls. First, you never want to fall into predictable patterns. Lots of guys use the same jokes, same questions, and same texts over and over. While it may be easier to fall into complacency with a woman you're dating, don't do it. Instead, break things up with some spicy every once in a while. Tell her you have a surprise to show her later. Tell her something reminded you of her, but don't tell her what it is right away. Ask her to send you a funny picture of something, or send her a funny picture of something. Keep her guessing what your text will be and you'll keep her interested in you. Moreover, keeping the spark of a relationship alive is very important when it comes to creating a great sex life. As long as you don't become ultra predictable, you should have your girl texting you asking you when you're available to hang out. Mistake number 7, thinking she's different. I have stressed over and over again, never tell a girl how you feel about her over text. Yet day after day I get emails from students telling me a story about how they confessed their feelings to a girl over text. And every time they scare the girl away. In your mind, you're going to try to convince yourself that she is different. Or that it won't work on her. But the minute you tell yourself she's different, you are on the road to losing her. Guys continually do things like texting her too much, paying her gushing compliments over text, not asking her to hang out because you're scared. And time again they'll face the same consequences as all the other guys have. She's not different. And if anytime you start thinking she is, pull out this email and reread it. Okay. So now that you know the big mistakes you need to avoid, it's time formulate a solid game plan. In this video you're going to learn how to turn your phone into a magnet by using a specific sequence of texts called the key lock sequence. Visit worldrolodex.com/magnetic messaging to learn more.